Sacred Woman by Queen Afua. Can you see that? Great. So, Queen Afua is a nationally renowned herbalist, natural health expert, and dedicated healer of women's bodies and women's souls who practices a uniquely Afrocentric spirituality. Her classic bestseller, Heal Thyself, forever changed the way African Americans practice holistic health. Now, with Sacred Woman, she takes us on a transforming journey of a physical and ancestral healing that will restore the magnificence of our spirits through sacred initiation. Queen Afua begins by helping us to discover our unique womb-ness and to honor the womb as a center of our consciousness and creativity, giving us a 21-day program for womb purification and spirit rejuvenation. Then, Queen Afua summons us to enter the 9 gateways of initiation, where she blesses us with the exact tools we need to bring our beings into true harmony with the earth and the cosmos. Through extraordinary meditations, affirmations, and rituals rooted in ancient Egyptian temple teachings, Queen Afua teaches us how to love and rejoice in our bodies by spiritualizing the words we speak, the foods we eat, the spaces we live and work in, the beauty we create in our lives, the healing energy we transmit to self and others, the relationships we nurture, the service we offer, and the transcendent woman spirit we manifest. With love, wisdom, and passion, Queen Afua guides us to accept our mission and our mantle as sacred women, to heal ourselves, the generations of women in our families, our communities, and our world. So, I wanted to do this book review because, as you see how I'm dressed, I am inspired by Queen Afua. This entire look is inspired by her. I so value, respect, honor her presence, her strength to rise up and to be who she is and to walk in her purpose and to leave this legacy for us. And I have received many books. These are one of my favorites and my often go-tos. So in a lot of my books, I highlight so that it is easier for me to access what I need to access. And I'm just going to share some things and my thoughts. And it says, I am a distinctive, beautiful flower and a healing herb with a heart, a mind, breasts, buttocks, and a womb. I come with sacred earth medicine to heal myself. So that is pretty much the intro. And Queen Afua says that she dedicates sacred women to the first mothers and healers of the planet, to the African woman and who women are globally who are in need of all wellness. So the context of her book goes: preface, preparing to enter the gates, sacred woman training. Then you have part 1, the ancient ways. You have chapter 1, the Kemetic Nubian philosophy. Then you have part 2, which is the womb wisdom. Then you have chapter 2, which gives you the gateway, the sacred womb. Chapter 3 is the spirit of the womb. Chapter 4 is the care of the womb. We go into part 3, the 9 gateways of initiation. We have chapter 5, the commitment for all women who enter the 9 gateways. We have chapter 6, gateway 1, sacred words. We have chapter 7, gateway 2, sacred foods. We have chapter 8, gateway 3, sacred movement. We have chapter 9, gateway 4, sacred beauty. We have chapter 10, gateway 5, sacred place. We have chapter 11, gateway 6, sacred healing. We have chapter 12, Gateway 7, Sacred Relationships. We have chapter 13, Gateway 8, Sacred Union. We have chapter 14, Gateway 9, Nefer Atum, the Sacred Lotus Initiation. We have Appendix A for the Sacred Woman and the Products and Tools. And in the appendix, she gives the biographies of the Sacred Woman, Ancestors, Elders, and the Contemporaries. Okay? So I'm just going to share some of the highlighted portions. So the message of this book will ignite you on your transformational journey, open you up to your sacred woman who you truly are, and you will receive a higher vision of self and the help and courage you need to go forward. Okay. So now we are on page 5, and we're on to Sacred Woman Training, how to use this book. Okay. So Sacred Woman is a spiritual tool and a cultural journey. Today, contemporary seekers of various traditions are invoking the spiritual wisdom of their ancestors in order to revitalize such traditions in modern life. African Americans' exploration of their ancestral wisdom teachings has been painfully restricted by the absence of written records. Thanks to the unconquerable and profound legacy of our rich oral tradition and the extraordinary efforts of African American historians and scholars such as Dr. John Hendrick Clark, Dr. Yosef Ben Buchanan, and Dr. Shava Ali and Jacob Carruthers. So I basically wanted to share that portion because, as I said, on my channel, I'm going to be discussing about empaths in the Black community and in context of our cultural experience. And I'm going to be sharing different reviews of different books and different literatures, different authors, different scholars, different everything for you to for us all to have an understanding of the context in which we should be discussing ourselves as Black people in context to the labels that society or that we choose to adopt. Now, as we see what we've read here, we understand that without the context of who we are, how are we able to heal ourselves? Are we going to heal ourselves with things that are out of the exterior of our nature? Gateway 0, the Sacred Room on page 6 says, awaken us to the power of the womb as our physical and psycho-spiritual center. How to identify, cleanse, purify, heal, and honor one of the primary gateways of our spiritual power. Learn how to deprogram ourselves from harmful thoughts, attitudes, habits, and relationships. We learn the art of caring for our wombs by offering them to the gift of wellness and philosophy. This includes the natural living approach to food, womb rejuvenation techniques, womb affirmations, womb meditations, and learning to use a sacred woman's womb scroll. Now, in the second degree of the Sacred Room training, exploring the 9 gateways individually. Each gateway represents a spiritual rite of passage that will liberate you from your old life and usher you into the new way of being. This work requires a commitment to transform you in your consciousness from ignorance to denial and grandiosity to harmonious alignment with your true divine nature as a sacred woman. We do not travel the gateways alone. At each gateway, we are accompanied by the inspiration, grace, protection, and guidance of the spiritual guardians, ancestors, elders, and contemporaries associated with the teachings. And I've said before is that it depends on what you believe, or what you know, that we are our ancestors' return. And so with that being said, we need our ancestors in order to do our everyday work. It's a collective, we commune together. So the 9 gateways of sacred initiation. You make a profound commitment to putting spirit first in your life. This brings you to the crossroads between unconsciousness and consciousness in your life's journey. This level, you are no longer protected by the safety nets of ignorance offered to the beginners in the consciousness path. So the sacred spirit dwells in the sacred woman. She will forever rise. So let's begin. It says on page 8. Now we are in chapter 4 for the care of the womb, and we are on page 67. Take reflexology, for example. Your foot is a map of your whole body, from the big toe representing your brain to the arch of your foot representing your spine, the heel, the lower extremities, and the ankles, your reproductive organs. The womb is the foundation of a woman's whole self. It is the defining sacred center of our bodies, mind, and spirit. What grew out of my work is a concept that there is a non-violent approach to womb wellness. It comes through being conscious of the womb and owns wisdom and utilizing natural therapies that honor our whole being, which include juice therapy, live foods, nature's herbs, water therapy, movement and breath, essential oils, clay infusions, and applications. So, eat to live. There is a lifestyle that actually feeds tumors in the womb, breasts, and other parts of the body. However, if we change to a natural flesh-free and limited starch diet, we can prevent growths and diseases found in the womb, in breasts, and throughout the body temple. For example, mango, papaya, coconut water, ginger, sorrel, honeydew, celery, parsley, and cucumber, plus all the many kinds of greens make our wombs supreme. I say that is to say that it takes love to feed a child, and water to feed a plant, and milk and eggs and flesh to feed a tumor. What this means is that we have control of the destiny of our wellness. When we as women practice the principles of eat to live rather than live to eat, then we'll eat ourselves into good health. Again, I've shared food and mood on this channel, and I've shared different representations of why it is important to recognize how we represent ourselves in terms of what we're consuming. It has been reflected to me by different people in my life, and we know the saying goes, you are what you eat is not just only in what you take into the interior of your body through what you masticate and you digest. It's everything that you're digesting from the people, places, and things. What are you listening to in terms of music? What are you watching? All of these things are into that context. And so when it comes to food, it definitely represents that you need to take into accountability on a daily basis. What are you putting on your plate, and what are you putting into your body? And I can tell you firsthand, as I've shared on this channel many times, that I used to have a poor diet. My diet on a daily basis used to consist of microwaved foods. It used to consist of processed foods. It used to consist of fast foods, junk foods, white foods, starch foods, sugar foods, fake foods, synthetic foods, all the time. So now my diet really is more a reflection of nature and natural things. I'm not perfect. I don't always consistently keep up on that. However, what I recognize is when I'm not doing that, my body is the strongest indicator of reflection to me that I need to take into accountability what I'm doing to myself. So, sacred womb wellness affirmation. Visualize a well womb daily. Upon the rising and setting of the sun, for what you see and breathe into your soul you become. Affirm. My fallopian tubes are clear and clean. My ovaries are rich and filled with life. My vagina is a channel of purity. My uterus is radiantly healthy, for my womb is a sacred part of me. So the sacred ancient mirror. The mirror was first developed thousands of years ago in Kemet by polishing a metal surface to a high reflective shine. Mirrors were important for they symbolized fertility, beauty, and protection. We knew that it not only reflected our physical body and beauty, it also reflected our spiritual condition and offered us an opportunity to view our very soul looking back at us. Egyptian word for Ankh is also the word for life and for mirror. And again, why does this reflect on this channel? Because as we know, Heyoka is the mirror empath, the empath that comes in to show you the self that you are choosing to deny, that you're choosing to bury. So those of us that think that we can paint it on and we can dress it up and present it to the world as a mask, know that the mirror is intrinsic to the soul. And as you try to hide all of those things are always going to come back up to the surface for you to deal with. So we're going to end this with menopause. Menopause is not an illness or any form of disease, but rather is a part of a woman's natural life processes. Menopause is brought about by decreased production of female sex hormones. Symptoms and signs can be an easy, gentle process, or it can be a difficult time. Those women who eat poorly, do not get enough exercise, and live a stressful lifestyle may experience some or all of the following symptoms: severe nervousness, irritability, depression, overexcitability, headaches, abdominal pain, rushes of blood to the head and upper body called hot flashes, backaches, leg cramps, night sweats, and nosebleeds. We have the power to prevent or heal ourselves of these various symptoms by eating live foods and fresh fruit, by drinking fresh vegetable juices and herb teas, by maintaining a clean colon, by exercising and meditating daily, and above all, by healing and releasing all negative relationships and getting them out of our lives. So, exactly. So that's to conclude my review of Sacred Woman by Queen Afua. If you do not have this book, I encourage you to go out and get this book. It is a book that continues to keep on giving. It is one that is great for one to discuss in the family. It is not just for women's knowledge. It's something that men, women, and child can share, as you've heard expressed within this book. So if there's anything that I have said that resounds for you, and if you want to stay connected, subscribe, like, share, and comment. Hit the notifications bell so you know when I next put up a video, and we can talk about all of these things here. And stay tuned for my next review, and I'm going to see you.